Hey, what's up? Are you trying to live the life of your dreams but not getting the results that you want? Well, I know the secret. Let's get into it right now. All right, what's up, congratulators? If this is your first time, I'm Xavier Garcia, and this is the Ultimate Psychology channel. And welcome if it's your first time. So today we're going to be getting in how to abide by the law of attraction for maximum benefit, right? There's this thing called the law of attraction, okay? I don't know if you've heard of it, and if you have, well, then we're going to explore it, and if you haven't heard of it, well, then I'm glad to introduce it to you. So the law of attraction states that if you think positive thoughts or negative thoughts, that creates positive or negative experiences in your life. Pretty common sense, right? We've kind of heard this all of our lives, you know, think good things and good things will happen. But we might not have it attributed to this statement or this idea of the law of attraction. Well, it is a law. It's a law of the universe. It's not it's not a theory like the theory of evolution or anything like that, right? It's an actual law. And so it's just like the law of cause and effect, the law of gravity, and it behooves you not to understand this law and know it and use it to your advantage, to your benefit. Not only just for selfish gains and reasons, but also that you can be a benefit and a blessing to others. So this law, the law of attraction, is neutral. You know, and you're already using it. You've been using it since childhood. And we think, the average person thinks about like 50,000 thoughts a day, right? We have this inner running dialogue in our minds. Well, these thoughts are things. They have magnetism. They're polarizing. There's a certain energy that they have that creates like-minded thoughts. So if I'm thinking 50,000 thoughts a day, and I've been doing this since childhood, that's billions of thoughts. And those thoughts, they create experiences in your life. And so at this point in your life, whatever you've manifested, this has been the sum total, the accumulation of all those previous thoughts that you had. And if you don't like it where you're at right now, or you want to change it, you don't just have to keep going with the flow, because it's just going to take you. It's just like being out in the sea or out in the ocean and not having a sail and not having a rudder to direct where you want to go. And you'll just drift out at sea. And you might wander in a good place and you might not. And you can be the captain of your soul here, so to speak, and take control and take direction by choosing the thoughts that you're now going to choose to think towards the goals that you want to achieve. So the first thing we want to do is to know what we want, okay? Because we've had these billions of thoughts already in our lives, and now we have to like totally, completely turn around the ship if that's what we want and that's our goal. That's like moving heaven and earth, okay? Because you've created this, if the mind is like a garden, or it's a plantation, or if it's a storehouse, we built all this material, this information in it already, and now we have to start planting new seed, okay? And so it has to be powerful. It can't just say, I want a new car. I think that girl's really hot and sexy, and I like her to be my girlfriend. You'd be like, no. You have to start speaking power and life over yourself. And to give you an example, with my wife, before I even ever met her, I was already telling myself, I'm a happily married man. I'm a happily married man. And people would look at me kooky, and of course I'd explain myself that I'm just using the law of attraction and trying to manifest my wife, right? They call me crazy, but I did it. And lo and behold, you know, here she is in my life, and we're happily married, and I can officially, legitly say I'm a happily married man because I did it in the past. And the mind doesn't know the difference between what's reality and what's not if it believes it. And I started getting that feeling, and I manifested. And actually, I got and I took a course on how to attract, you know, your soulmate. And I made a list, of the contents of my wife, the perfect ideal wife, the perfect woman. And I would run around and I'd show it to everybody. And in fact, I'll show you an example of it right now. All right, so this is my list right here, right? I've had this for years, and I'd go around, because there was a point where I was like, I was already single, already felt like a loser, okay? And I have nothing to lose, because at the end of the day, I'm just gonna be single anyways again, if not, right? So I had no problem, so I accepted the belief. I knew exactly what I wanted, my ideal objective that I wanted to attract into my life. And I started sharing with people because I wanted to put it out there. And at least if whether they agreed or they didn't disagree, or they thought I was weird or whatever, I started to put it out in the universe and not just keep it in my head, right? It wasn't just an affirmation I'm saying to myself. I was proclaiming it. I was broadcasting it out loud. And now, lo and behold, again, she's the woman holding she's my camera woman now. She's holding this, and it's beautiful to see you, baby, and thank you for being in my life. But she's here in my life now because this law of attraction, this thing worked. So that's what it is. You got to know exactly what you want in your life. And you begin by idealizing, romanticizing, just talking out loud. It doesn't matter, you know, and you know, whether it's a nice car, a spouse, a wife, a life partner, or a home. And for another example, my wife, she wanted a home. She manifested our house. There was no way that I thought we would be able to have a house or a home in the location that we have it in the price range that fits our budget. It just synchronizes perfectly, okay? But she believed it. So when you believe something, well, we'll get to that in a moment, but you have to know what you want, because you have to be able to tell the universe or tell God that this is exactly what I want. And then it can start working towards you and working for you. But if you don't know what you want and you're kind of hesitant, and usually that has to do with some of your beliefs and your fears and your doubts, but if you have any of those things, if you haven't removed them, then what you desire can't come into your life. You're not going to be open, you're not going to be receptive. So I know for myself, you know, I'm starting off with a big general broad stroke and imagination, and it's just to create an awesome life, create a supernatural life. Okay, and I try to visualize and imagine what that would be like, you know, the experiences that I have, the people that I would meet, the work that I would get to do, being a YouTuber, okay? And so like for my wife, she has a vision board, and this is it right here, right now. And so she has this vision board, and that's how she's using to have more mental focus and clarity on the things that she wants to manifest in her life. I'll be doing one myself at the end of this year. But I like to write down my goals. That way I can see it on paper, and I like to speak to other people about it. All right, so now that you see it in your mind's eye and you have this crystal clear vision of exactly what you want, this can take some time, so be patient with yourself. It's not like you can have it like that. You could, you know, but give yourself some time, some days, weeks, months, because once you get this crystal clear, which is super important, it's really concentrated, then the world can start moving towards you and bringing it towards you into your life. But once you feel like you got that feeling, you have that crystal clear vision, then you can accept it. You know what? I got this. And you start proclaiming it. It is coming into my life now. And I'm moving towards my goals every day. Start affirming that and knowing that and accept that belief. Because once that thought or that seed is planted in the ground, then you can cover it up and leave it there forever, and it's going to produce. That tree is going to grow. It is finished. That thought is finished and completed. Because once you have that thought, now you're a polarizing figure, okay? And every polar thing has its polar opposite, okay? And so now the universe, the world is going to be like, how badly do you want it? Right? And you're just like, well, I planted it, I already said it, I made my stake and claim, I planted my flag, and it's going to battle with you, because now you're growing to grow into this vibration that's going to be at the same vibration as what you want. See, I have to act like a happily married man for me to be a happily married man. If I act like a happily married man, I'm going to have situations where I can actually become a happily married man, and I do. And I keep this feeling up, because I can be married because now we've made the commitment, but that doesn't necessarily that I can put that adjective happy in front of it. Okay? And so I have to be able to regulate my emotions and speak good things so that I create the relationship and the life with my wife that can reinforce the affirmation or the confirmation that yes, I am a happily married man. So you're going to have this battle, this push and pull with the universe, and it almost never goes away. But like once you say it, it's done, and you know you got this, and it's going to be like, you know, why is this thing going to come into your life? It's because I said so. That's why. Because God created the world with the Word. The Word becomes flesh, or it just becomes manifest. It becomes reality. It becomes physical. And you're also made in His image. You're a creator, and you can create life to yourself. And so, and it's also important to be in the will of God. And so when you are a creator, you create with your values. That way these things stick and they hold, and they have lasting value. They have shelf life, and they'll stick with you. And you can hold the vibration. It's a vibration you want to hold. And when you're first manifesting, Like say you want a car, for example, and you think, oh, that's going to be it. That's going to be my status symbol. That's what's really going to give me the respect that I want or need. That's what's going to make me feel like a man. You might get it and you're like, you know what? It didn't do that for me. One, you would know that you can manifest. But two, you would, discard it. You can keep the car, but you would find, well, what's the deeper value? And where can I get this without having to find external things to validate my existence or my reality? Maybe it's, instead of getting respect from other people because look at the nice car I have, but it's not showing that, oh, it's not paid off and it's, I'm in debt somewhere else, for example. Well, then the car is just like the cherry on top with no cake. And so what you would maybe want to be going after is like saying having a great relationship with your kids. And that's where you're going to find that true fulfillment in your life that you thought that the car was going to bring you. But you start manifesting, you start bringing things into your life, and so that you live a life of integrity, and you'll know what to get rid of and what not to. And so don't worry about, if you manifest and you don't want it anymore and that whatever. You will continue to get into an alignment with your highest and your most prioritized values. So to continue going with this thought here, when you're bringing things into your life and say it's the car, right? Well, if you want to manifest the car, you could look online, right? Or you can go to a car dealership, and now all of a sudden you're going to be seeing lots of different cars. Okay, so life is going to start bringing into you, say back to the example with my wife, I was like, I'm happily married to my soulmate. I'm a happily married man. And lots of different women would start coming into my life. Like, hello, hi, nice to meet you. You get to know them, or you might know right off the bat they're not the one, but you have to start this filtration system. Because you're going to start getting deluged with all these opportunities and these aspects. Life is going to be like, okay, is this the one? Do you want this one? And the more you get, that's why it's important to be clear on exactly what you want, because I was starting to filter left and right what I wanted and what I didn't want. And someone could be like an excellent partner, but she wasn't exactly what I wanted. And I didn't know what Christina was going to look like on the outside, but I didn't know what she was going to look like on the inside, the contents of her character, because I already put it on my list. And lo and behold, she eventually surfaced and she became into my alley. I was like, that's it. So be aware of that. You're going to, it's not always the first thing that pops up. And it could be, that'd be great, but a lot of the time, if you're not super crystal clear exactly what you want, it's going to take time. And plus for big goals like attracting a spouse or like your dream house or your dream career, it is like moving heaven and earth. And so it takes a long time for things to shift. So don't get worried or concerned that it's not working fast enough. You got to remember that God's delays are not God's denials, and that things are happening on their own process, because there might be things that you need to change about yourself. And again, going back to the relationship, if I want to get along famously with my wife and have this great relationship, well, maybe there's something I need to work on, and that's why she hasn't come in fast enough. Maybe, I need to have a certain kind of income that can provide a lifestyle for us that would support the lifestyle that I see in my mind's eye. Or maybe if I'm dealing with anger issues and I'm holding back past grudges from past relationships, well, I'm going to have that energy, that vibe in me. And when I attract her, we're not going to get along because I'm still going to be holding on to this negative emotional junk or garbage, right? This baggage. So I might have to go to an anger management class first, get that resolved, so that now she can come right into my life. Okay, and so that may be the case for you with whatever it is that you're trying to attract. You'll come up to beliefs, and you'll run into things that you might have to change, or you might have to step up into, because if you want something new, you're going to have to become something new. And you're going to experience some growing pains. But you have to remember why you want what you want. If you're living out your values, then it's a necessary sacrifice and struggle to strive and to achieve. All right, so congratulations, this is your chance now. This is your opportunity. Let's start to begin the manifesting now in your life, because this is what this video is about. It's about you and your life, and for you to be successful on your terms and create the life of your dreams. So comment below right here, right now. Begin the process, put it out into the universe, and start and comment what you want to create in your life. And you can begin by answering this question. What great thing would you dare to manifest in your life if you knew you could not fail? Take the step, have the courage. Take the courageous step and put it down in the comments below. And now it'll be out into the universe. It's out in the World Wide Web. And it's a sort of a accountability system that keeps you in check. And you might not think it's very much, but it is a step. It is an action. And it'll have a domino effect. All right, thanks for commenting and congratulations. I know life is going to be happening for you. This is The Secret. This is actually where I got a lot of the information from. It's a documentary film by Rhonda Byrne. I highly recommend that you check it out. I got this from my local library. So please like and subscribe, share this with a friend, and I'll see you on the next video. Until then, love with freedom.